the Arab lands for the past 1400 years. For a few years the Britishers came, for a few years the French came, but overall we have been the lord of the Arab land for the past 1400 years. Yet today there are more than 14 million Arabs who are Coptic Christians. Coptic Christian means the Christian since generation. These 14 million Arab Coptic Christians, they are giving Shahada, they are bearing witness that Islam wasn't spared at the point of the sword. We Muslims, we ruled this great country India for about 1,000 years, the Mughals. If we wanted, we could have forced every Indian to accept Islam at the point of the sword. But we didn't do it. Today, more than 80% Indians, they are non-Muslims. These 80% non-Muslim Indians, they are giving Shahada, they are bearing witness that Islam wasn't spared at the point of the sword. Today, the country which has the largest population of Muslims in Indonesia, which army went to Indonesia? Which army went to Malaysia, which has more than 50% Muslims? Which army went to the east coast of Africa? Which sword? It is the sword of the intellect. As Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Nahl, chapter number 16, verse number 25. Udu ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal mau'izatil hasana wajadil billati ahsan. Invite all to the way of thy Lord with the wisdom and beautiful preaching, and argue with them and reason with them in the ways that are best and most gracious. It is the sword of the intellect which is conquering the hearts. It's not the sword of steel. It is the sword of reasoning and understanding which is winning over people. According to an article which came in the Plain Truth magazine, which was repeated in the Reader's Digest Almanac Yearbook 1984-1986, it gave the statistics of the increase in the major world religion in a span of 50 years, from 1934 to 1984. And number one religion which increased the maximum was Islam, 235%. Christianity, only 47%. I am asking the question, which war took place in the span of 50 years from 1934 to 1984, which forced millions of human beings to accept Islam? Which war? Which sword? It's a sword of intellect, sword of reasoning. Today, according to statistics, the fastest growing religion in America and USA is Islam. The fastest growing religion in Europe is Islam. I am asking the question, who is forcing these Americans to accept Islam? Who is forcing the Europeans to accept Islam? And when the media says that Islam is subjugating the woman, do you know, out of those people who are accepting Islam in the world, about 2/3, more than 65%, they are women. More than 65% who are accepting Islam in America, they are women. More than 65% who are accepting Islam in Europe, they are women. I am asking you the question, if Islam subjugates the women, then why are the American women accepting Islam? Why are the European women accepting Islam? Why are the Indian women accepting Islam? Why? Because Islam has the solution for the problem of womankind. They have seen the world. When they see the world, they find that Islam is the only solution for the problems of womankind. And today we find, as I mentioned earlier, that there is virulent propaganda about Islam. On the media we find that they are spreading misconceptions. But the more they are doing that, we find 9/11, after 9/11, this has reached epidemic levels. Writings against Islam, misconceptions about Islam, the propaganda against Islam increased. But I believe in the verse of the Quran of Surah Imran, chapter number 3, verse number 54, where Allah says, Makru makrallah wallahu khairul makreen. That they planned and plotted. Allah too planned. Allah is the best plan. Allah is the best of planners. After 9/11, the amount of propaganda they are doing against Islam, do you know, after 9/11, the spread of Islam has increased. Only in a span of 10 months, in USA alone, after 9/11, more than 34,000 Americans accepted Islam. In Europe alone, more than 22,000 accepted Islam in 10 months' time after 9/11. And I go to Europe, I go to UK very